Hey Star Wars fans, I've got a very special figure for you today. This is C-3PO, produced by 12 Perfect Model, Tamashii Nations and Sideshow Collectibles. This is the 1/6 scale replica of C-3PO, and it's probably the most amazing C-3PO figure you'll ever see. It comes in this amazingly nice box. This isn't your typical Sideshow cardboard, this is more like board game cardboard. Everything comes printed on this foil surface. On the front of the box we can see C-3PO there. One side features C-3PO's name done on a silver background. The other side features C-3PO again, this time done on a gold background. The back of the box features more of that same gold colouring with Star Wars and C-3PO. Also on the back of the box we get to see all the companies involved in the production of this figure. So we've got the 12-inch PM C-3PO produced by Tamashii Nations, 12 Perfect Model, Chogokin, Sideshow Collectibles and Lucasfilm. So rather than your typical box, this one's actually a slip cover over the inner box. And that inner box features the details of C-3PO's torso. And when we take that slipcase off completely, it reveals a front opening panel. And when we open that panel we can see the figure there. And then we've got a plastic tray in front of that holding everything in. From there we can lift out the styrofoam tray which holds C-3PO. Then we have another section that contains the stand and his accessories. And finally we have his instruction booklet. So if we take a look at the accessories tray, it comes in two sections. We just lift off the top and we can see we've got the base there. It comes in three pieces. You have a little Tantive 4 backdrop to go onto the actual main base, and then we have a solid metal pole with a clip on that goes into that base to hold the figure. Also in that tray we get the magnetic restraining bolt, we get the little communication device, and we also get a nice handy tool for removing the batteries. And we get the C-3PO instruction manual. This is dual language, it features English and Japanese, gives you a little bit about the film, a little bit about the C-3PO figure, how accurate it's meant to be, the designer, the do's and don'ts, the how to replace your batteries, what the different hands do, how to take off the limbs. As for hands, we get 6 with this figure. These two are for holding the communication device. We get another set that are pretty much flat, and we get the set that comes with the figure, and they're the open palm hands. So if we take a look at the base, it's not bad as bases goes. For the quality of the figure, the base doesn't really live up to it. It feels a little bit cheap, and it doesn't really feel strong enough to hold onto the figure, considering this figure's nearly 2.5 kilograms. To attach him to his base, we put him in position with the little plastic arm and clip it around his body, being careful not to tug on those wires. And if we take a look at the wiring on C-3PO, it does say in the instruction manuals not to pick at these. Each one is individually wired into a plastic hoop that's inside the body, and it does look absolutely amazing when you see it in person. This is the kind of level of detail you don't see on many figures. So as for C-3PO himself, he's solid die cast, he weighs nearly 2.5 kilograms. The only plastic parts that I can find are the wires, the hands and the feet. Everything else seems to be solid metal. Should also mention the gold is not actually painted on the metal. This metal is that colour, which just adds a whole new level of realism to this figure. Plus it also helps that he's not going to scratch the paint off. And as you can see, the head sculpt on this thing is absolutely spot on. Every little last detail. And if we take a look around the torso section, we can see that fantastic panelling on the back, all the little etched in details. This looks absolutely stunning in person. So taking a look at C-3PO's articulation, we do have a ball jointed head, and that moves quite nice and freely. For his arms, they move up and down with a nice clicking sound. And then this section, it turns round and it does move around a little bit on a ball joint. For his elbows, you can see that we've got a hinge there, but it does move the pistons, and you can also hear that wonderful clicking noise. And for his hands, they're pretty basic, just your simple ball jointed interchangeable hands. At the torso, we've got this rocking joint there, and there's also another one at the base of the torso. Then for his legs, it gets a little bit more limited. We can go about that far forwards and backwards, and you can sort of twist them about like that. Then for his knees, we've got more great clicking noises. They don't go side to side, just backwards and forwards. For his ankles, we've just got basic ball joints as well. It is worth noting, between the loose knee joints and the ankle joints, he's a little bit difficult to get him to stay stood up, and I wouldn't feel safe with him on a shelf, definitely not. He'd have to go on the stand. And C-3PO features removable limbs, so you can just pull him to bits. You can take both of his legs off. Then each leg you can take that and separate it at the knee. For the arms you simply pull them out of his shoulders, and you can also pull his head off. And of course, with the hands being interchangeable, you can also remove them too. And what you're left with is a big pile of pieces that's really easy to snap back together. Everything goes back together with a nice click. All the connections are actually made of metal, so you don't really fear them breaking. They may go loose over time, I would imagine, with lots of playing with it. But just for a quick demonstration, this came out perfectly unscathed. Another little feature with this figure, you can take that magnetic restraining bolt and you can attach it to his body. And 3PO has one final feature to show you. You can remove the back of his head, which is a solid chunk of die-cast metal, and he has a little switch in there, and you guessed it, flick that switch and on come the eyes. It's really hard to see this on camera, but the eyes do actually feature the 3 little dots within those grooves. And also you could criticise this figure of the eyes not being quite the right colour. They're showing up close on the video, but they're actually more of a white light. So overall, this has got to be one of the most amazing Star Wars Sideshow figures that there is. When you pick this figure up, it just feels like next level quality. So there you go guys, the greatest 1/6 scale C-3PO figure that there is. This has been Luke, thanks for watching.